The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Monday, March 23, 2026, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Thursday, March 19, 2026 is read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly. Secretary will read.
Senator Adabo moves to discharge from the Committee on Racing, Gaming, and Wagering, Assembly Bill Number 9234B, and substituted for the identical Senate Bill 9183, third reading calendar 552.
So ordered. Messages from the Governor, reports of standing committees, reports of select committees, communications and reports from state officers, motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Good afternoon, Madam President. On behalf of Senator Harkin here, on page 22, I offer the following amendments to Calendar 532, Senate Print 9020A, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
The amendments are received and the bill will retain its place on the third reading calendar. Senator Gianaris.
Move to adopt the resolution calendar.
All those in favor of adopting the resolution calendar, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The resolution calendar is adopted. Senator Gianaris.
Please take up previously adopted Resolution 1745 by Senator Fernandez. I read its title and recognize Senator Fernandez.
The Secretary will read.
Resolution 1745 by Senator Fernandez, memorializing Governor Kathy Hochul to proclaim May 22, 2026 as Maritime Day in the state of New York in conjunction with the observance of National Maritime Day.
Senator Fernandez on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for allowing me to speak on this exciting resolution today. I rise in support of the resolution to proclaim May 22nd, 2026 as Maritime Day in the state of New York. Long before highways and rail lines, it was our waterways that connected us, moved commerce, and helped build the economy of this state and this nation. This resolution gives us an opportunity to recognize the merchant mariners and the maritime workers who have served America with distinction throughout our history, especially in times of war, crisis, and national need. Their work is essential. They move goods across the world, strengthen our economy, and sustain jobs here in New York on ships, tugboats, and ports across the state and beyond. And today we are especially proud to recognize and celebrate SUNY Maritime College, a premier state institution located right under the Throgs Neck Bridge in the beautiful borough of the Bronx, an institution with a legacy dating back more than 150 years, shaping the maritime industry through training, innovation, and leadership development. SUNY Maritime is the oldest institution of its kind. The campus is remarkable. It is built within and around the historic pre-Civil War Fort Schuyler, a coastal defense fort constructed in the mid-1800s to protect our waterways. The federal government purchased the land in Throgs Neck in 1826 to revitalize American shipping, and in 1874, the New York Nautical School was established to train merchant mariners. And just under 100 years later, the school incorporated into the SUNY system and became the school we know it today, the institution we know it today. Generations of cadets have trained, studied, and prepared for careers that extend far beyond the classroom. From its earlier training ship days of the St. Mary to today, Empire State 7. Maritime has provided hands-on, real-world experience that sets its students apart. In fact, it is the #1 ranked in return on investment among SUNY's institutions. The combination of engineering, science degrees, and maritime licenses creates high employability, and students who gain their education here, whether you are in the cadet program or not, have all landed in these well-paying specialized fields. And to this day, it is the #1 institution in the country to create new mariners. Also unique to the school is the cadet appointment program, which allows elected officials to nominate qualified New York State residents from their district to attend the college on a full-time scholarship. I've always been very proud to advocate for the funding of the cadet program in the budget every year, and I hope that we continue to support it to create more cadets. And on days like today, we can see the impact of this funding. I want to take a moment to recognize and thank our cadets who are recipients of the scholarship for joining us in Albany today. You represent the future of the industry, and you make our state very proud. I'm going to go one by one. Everyone's cadet is here. Cadet Stephanie DeMond from Pleasant Valley in Senator Hinchey's district. Could you stand when I say your name? Thank you. Cadet Pedro Lorino from West Nyack from Senator Weber's district. Cadet Samuel Petramale from Poughkeepsie from Senator Rollinson's district. Cadet James Wageman from Breezy Point from Senator Sanders' district. Cadet Cecilia Damali from Naples from Senator Helming's district. Cadet Peter DeMontro from Staten Island from Senator Lanz's district. Cadet Elton Endres from Hamburg from Senator Gallivan's district. Cadet Alexa Heiss from Levittown from Senator Rhodes' district. Cadet Nicholas LeBron from Washingtonville from Senator Skoufis's district. Cadet Gurnett Maximilian from Bayside from Senator Liu's district. Cadet Alexa Nolan from Howard Beach from Senator Sanders' district. Cadet Nicole Oskapovich, lo siento, from Amityville from Senator Martinez's district. Cadet Lola Peleas from Manhattan in Senator Clear's district. Cadet Joseph Scaraceni from Baldwin from Senator May's district. Cadet Christopher Taylor from Babylon from Senator Weeks' district, and Cadet Peyton Languth from the Bronx, my district. Thank you for being here. I also want to recognize guests on the floor, our leaders of this great institution, including Rear Admiral John A. Oken, whose return to lead this institution reflects a deep commitment to its mission and its future. To SUNY Maritime Provost, Dr. Todd Lee, Captain Thomas Murphy, and Captain Christopher Zola. Thank you for ensuring SUNY Maritime College continues to be a point of pride for the Bronx and New York State, and their consistent excellence through their mission of loyalty, valor, and leadership. It is an honor to highlight SUNY Maritime today and the broader maritime community here in Albany. I thank you for this opportunity and this honor, and I proudly vote aye on this resolution.
Thank you, Senator Fernandez. Senator Helming on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Senator Fernandez, for this resolution. Today, I rise to welcome and recognize SUNY Maritime to the Chamber. SUNY Maritime, as Senator Fernandez shared with us, is an outstanding institution providing a rigorous, hands-on educational experience and preparing cadets for careers of service, leadership, and responsibility. SUNY Maritime instills discipline, technical skills, and a strong sense of purpose, equipping all of these young men and women to meet the demands of critical industries and to serve our nation with distinction. I too would like to thank the leaders, the instructors, and the mentors whose guidance and support make this possible. A special thank you to Rear Admiral and President John O'Con and Dr. Todd Lid, Provost. Today, I'd also like to offer a special congratulations to the cadets who have committed themselves to this path. Their dedication, perseverance, and willingness to take on challenging coursework and training speaks volumes about their character. It is especially my honor to recognize two cadets. From Senator White's district, Senate District 8, is Christopher Taylor from Babylon. And I mentioned Senator White's district because Senator has proclaimed her district as the district that is churning out great Americans. So congratulations to you, Christopher. I also want to recognize Cecilia DeMalley, a third-year cadet and proud graduate of Naples Central School District. I was so honored to nominate Cecilia as a senior in high school. It's exciting to see how she's continuing to build on the strong foundation that she developed at Naples. Like her fellow cadets, she's distinguishing herself through her hard work, discipline, and commitment to her future. Cecilia is majoring in marine environmental science and is a member of the sailing team while also participating in the rock climbing club. She's pursuing her third mate's license with unlimited tonnage through rigorous U.S. Coast Guard training. I had the opportunity to speak with her earlier today, and I asked her to share with me one of her most memorable experiences. And what she shared with me was that so far, her cadet shipping assignment aboard a research vessel on the West Coast this past summer was one of the most invaluable experiences she's had. So much hands-on learning, and she's earned significant academic credit toward her degree. Cecilia and her classmates represent the very best of our region, the very best of our state, and the next generation of leaders. To all of the cadets who are here, your commitment to excellence, service, and leadership inspires confidence in your future. Thank you for stepping forward to take on responsibility at a time when it matters most. Our state and our nation will be stronger because of you. Congratulations, and thank you for choosing a path of purpose and service. I vote yes, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Helming. To our guests, the cadets from SUNY Maritime College and the distinguished leadership of the college, we welcome you to the Senate on behalf of all the members. You are entitled to the privilege and cordialities of the House. Please rise and be recognized. The resolution was adopted on March 17th. Senator Gianaris.
Madam President, Senator Fernandez would like to open that resolution for co-sponsorship.
The resolution is open for co-sponsorship. Should you choose not to be a co-sponsor, please notify the desk. Senator Gianaris.
Please recognize Senator Webb for an introduction.
Senator Webb for an introduction.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise today to introduce some pretty distinguished guests who are here in our chamber today. You know, I get the pleasure to represent a number of colleges and universities in Senate District 52, and we are joined today by students from the State Policy Advocacy Clinic at the Brooks School of Public Policy at the Cornell University. They provide both undergraduate and second-year MPA students with the opportunity to work with us as legislators and others, along with academics and community members and organizations on state-level policy initiatives. It has been my pleasure to work with these incredible students who I am certain will advocate for a number of issues that we talk about here in this chamber, but I'm going to lift up one in particular that they have been working very closely with my office on, and that is the lethality assessment bill. And I want to also give a shout out to Senator Rollison for his support on this bill as well. We had a press conference earlier, and of course, a number of colleagues as well. This bill passed our chamber, and the reason why I lift this up is because these students have done an incredible job of not only looking at national data, looking at case studies that are really helping to shape and mold policy that's literally helping to save people's lives. And so their work through research, of course, design, and pushing for solutions to some of our most pressing policy issues, I'm truly delighted that they are here with us today. Madam President, I want to introduce them by name. We are joined today by Azaria Highsmith, Micah Skookman, Sunny Horton, Emily Mercer, and Emily Koldener. And Madam President, I ask that you join me in welcoming these students to our chamber and extend them the privileges of the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Webb. To our guests from the State Policy Advocacy Clinic at Cornell University, thank you for joining us here today. Thank you for your work. You're entitled to the privileges and cordialities of the House. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Gianaris.
At this time, recognize Senator Chen for an introduction.
Senator Chan for an introduction.
Thank you, Madam President. Today, I rise to ask my colleagues to join me in welcoming a bunch of very special kids. It's the Staten Island Technical High School Ensemble, the Wind Ensemble, led by conductor Mr. Robert Rams. Just a couple of days ago, this ensemble here marched in the St. Paddy's Day parade in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and yet today they rose to the occasion once again, performing in the concourse just an hour ago. Man, you guys are like the Marines of bands. And that's one of the reasons why this ensemble is honored with the gold distinction from the New York State School Music Association, which is their most prestigious honor given to a high school band. Staten Island Technical High School is one of the 8 specialized high schools in New York City, currently ranked number 3 best public schools in New York State out of 1,269 on niche.gov. And ranked number 25 best public high schools in America, that's out of 20,162 schools. I think that speaks volumes for itself. It's not a study course, folks, that get these kids into that school. It's years of hard work for a student to get to this school. And I personally know of a middle-class student who did exactly that. That's my daughter, Elizabeth. She is a member of that band, and she couldn't be here today because she's studying for the SAT tomorrow. So many others from everywhere in the city, especially from my district in Brooklyn, just across the bridge, travel every day, often braving the wind and the rain, snow and sleet, just to hop on that bus, just to attend this school. My own daughter included. And one of her best friends, Marsha Novikova, she's the daughter of Assemblyman Michael Novikov, just down the hall in the assembly. And coincidentally, one of their teachers is Miss Abby Lanza. Does that ring a bell? Sounds familiar? Miss Abby Lanza is the daughter of Senator Andrew Lanza, our deputy minority leader. Talk about a small world, right? So please join me in welcoming these wonderful, studious go-getters to our Senate chambers in Albany today. Welcome, and let's see how far you can go. Madam President, I ask that we extend the courtesies of the Senate to these young people right here. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Chan. To our guests from the Staten Island Technical High School Wind Ensemble and Marching Band, welcome to the Senate chambers. We extend to you the privileges and cordialities of the House. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Gianaris.
Madam President, please take up the reading of the calendar.
The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 215, Senate Print 7618A by Senator Hinchy, an act to amend the Agricultural Markets Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 180th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart-Cousins, Zellner.
Senator Borrello to explain his vote.
Thank you, Madam President. While I understand the purpose of this is to try to reduce food waste, which is certainly a challenge. However, I think this is a very onerous and difficult way to go about it. First of all, making a unique mandate for food suppliers that only applies to New York State is going to increase cost and reduce supply. And on top of that, there's really no protections in this bill in the event that the dates that are chosen by New York State end up becoming a liability for those folks that produce the food and make sure it's on our store shelves. And I'm afraid in a state like New York, litigiousness is a common thing. So I'm going to be voting no on this bill and looking forward to a common sense federal standard that will set the same standard for every state and make it easier for food manufacturers to comply. I don't think we should be messing with our food supply, no matter how, honorable the idea may be. So I'm voting no. Thank you.
Senator Borrello to be recorded in the negative. Announce the result.
In relation to calendar 215, voted in the negative are Senators Ashby, Borrello, Hellman, O'Mara, Ort, Steck, Walzek, and White. Ayes 53, nays 8.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 296, Senate Print 438A by Senator Myrie, an act to amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect on the 150th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart-Cousins, White.
Announce the result.
In relation to calendar 296, voted in the negative are Senators Oberacker, Steck, Walzek, and White. Ayes 57, nays 4.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 326, Senate Print 3689 by Senator Sanders, an act to amend the Real Property Action and Proceedings Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart-Cousins, Zellner.
Mike. Announce the result.
In relation to calendar 326, voted in the negative are Senators Borello, Canzeri Fitzpatrick, Chan, Griffo, Lanza, Martins Matera, Murray, Obraco, Mara, or Palumbo, Rhodes, Rawson, Stack, Tedisco, Walzek, Weapon, White. Ayes 42, nays 19.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 405, Senate Print 6718B by Senator Jackson, an act to amend the administrative code of the City of New York.
Read the last section.
Section 5, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukug, Zellner. Thank you. In relation to calendar 405, voted in a negative R, Senators Ashby, Borello, Bino, Canzeri Fitzpatrick, Chan, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, Martins, Matera, Murray, Obaraco, Mara, or Palumbo, Rhodes, Rawson, Stack, Tedisco, Walzek, Weber, and White. Ayes 38, nays 23.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 408, Senate Print 7731 by Senator Webb, an act to amend the insurance law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect on the 120th day of shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukug, Zellner.
Senator Webb to explain her vote.
Thank you, Madam President. No, the birth of a child is one of the most profound and joyful moments in a parent's life, but it can also involve worry, fear, and stress. In the terrible event that complications arise, families and healthcare professionals must act quickly. Occasionally, an infant must be immediately transferred to a hospital that is able to provide the type of specialized care that the child needs. Despite the obvious importance of a birthing parent being near a newborn during this time, insurance coverage for the transfer of hospitalized birthing parents is not guaranteed. Physicians who provide maternity care must receive approval from an insurance company for the transfer to be covered. Waiting for approval and potentially being denied coverage for the transfer creates time-consuming barriers that impede care. This legislation amends the insurance law to ensure that a birthing parent and their infant are not separated in the event that a newborn infant requires transportation to special care. Madam President, no parent should be separated from their infant because an insurer simply has not gotten back to them. The science is clear. Early bonding and physical contact are critical to a newborn's health development, and every hour apart has consequences. This legislation is straightforward and will ensure that when a newborn must be transferred for specialized care, the birthing parent can go with them. I proudly vote aye, and I encourage my colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Senator Webb to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 61.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 409, Senate Print 8542 by Senator Webb, an act to amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukug, Zellner.
Announce the results.
Ayes 61.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 415, Senate Print 7821A by Senator May, an act to amend the general business law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect January 1st, 2026.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukug, Zellner.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 415, voted in the negative are Senators Lanza and Walzek. Ayes 59, nays 2.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 451, Senate Print 4039A by Senator Scoofers, an act to amend the public officers law.
Read the last section.
Section 5, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukug, Zellner. In relation to calendar 451, voted in the negative are Senators Borello, Canzeri Fitzpatrick, Chan, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Lanza, Martins, Patera, Murray, Oberakron, Mara, Orr, Palumbo, Rhodes, Ross, and Steck. Tedisco, Walzett, Weber, and White. Ayes 40, nays 21.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 509, Senate Print 7681 by Senator Comrie, enactment of the Public Authorities Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukudens, Zellner.
Announce results.
Ayes 61.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 538, Senate Print 5067A by Senator Sepulveda, enact to amend the Education Law.
Read the last section.
Section 33, this act shall take effect on the 90th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukudens, Zellner.
Announce results.
In relation to calendar 538, voted in the negative are Senators Skoufis and Walzek. Ayes 59, nays 2.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 547, Senate Print 6365 by Senator Salazar, enact to amend the Correction Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukudens, Zellner.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 547, voted in the negative are Senators Borrello, Chan, Oberacro, O'Mara, Steck, Walzek, Weber, and White. Ayes 53, nays 8.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 552, Assembly number 9234B by Assembly Member Werner, enact to amend the Racing Parimutuel Wagering and Breeding Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukudens, Zellner.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 552, voted in the negative are Senators Brisport and Martinez. Ayes 59, nays 2.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 563, Senate Print 1388 by Senator Serrano, enacting the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Law.
The bill is laid aside.
Calendar number 564, Senate Print 5400 by Senator Scarcella Stanton, enacting the Navigation Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Sukudens, Zellner.
Announce the results.
Ayes 61.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Let's continue on to the controversial calendar, please.
The secretary will ring the bell. The secretary will read.
Calendar number 563, Senate Print 1388 by Senator Serrano, enacting the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Law.
Senator Murray, do you rise?
Thank you, Madam President. Would the sponsor yield for a few questions?
Senator Serrano, do you yield?
Sure.
Senator yields.
Thank you, Madam President. So, Senator, first let me be perfectly clear. I do not want children playing on equipment that is covered in pesticides, so let's be clear about that. But I do just have some questions about, I guess, operationally about this, and we've talked before. So under line 6 on the bill, it says municipality shall mean a city, county, town, or village, or an improvement district within a city, county, town, or village, or any combination thereof. First, can you explain what you mean by any combination thereof?
Thank you. Through you, Madam President. The bill here states that it would be the municipality that would be responsible for providing this service and this cleaning. And that could be within the jurisdiction of any of these entities that you just listed here. So to answer your question, it would be the local town or village. I'm not sure if this is answering your question, but the local town or village or any of those within that jurisdiction.
Madam President, would the sponsor continue to yield?
You continue to yield?
Yes.
Sponsor yields.
Thank you. I'm going to lay a scenario out because I think this is the best way to maybe wrap my head around this. So where I live, we have Bellport Village, and about 6 miles to the west is Patchogue Village. In between is the jurisdiction of the town of Brookhaven. Within that, there's a private community with a playground. So Suffolk County does vector spraying for mosquitoes in the spring and summer, particularly the summer, especially along the South Shore where these communities are. If Suffolk County were to do some vector spraying on a Friday and go across that area covering Bellport Village, Brookhaven Town, and into Patchogue Village, affecting several different playgrounds, who would be responsible for the cleaning, and how would that get done within 24 hours when 24 hours would put it into Saturday?
For you, Madam President, Senator, it would be the responsibility of whoever authorized the spraying or whoever requested the spraying. So if a town or village is requesting that vector spraying, as you're mentioning, that individual town or village will be responsible for the cleaning if indeed it did go beyond the buffer zone, which has not been set. Because as is stated in the bill, this would be contingent upon regulations that are going to be put forth by DEC or DOH, so we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Madam President, would the sponsor continue to yield?
The sponsor yield?
Yes.
Sponsor yields.
Thank you. So in that scenario, here's the problem. Neither village or town requested it. The county does it upon themselves, but they do cover those jurisdictions with the spraying. That's where the confusion lies under who would be responsible.
Through you, Madam President, then in this case, Senator, it would be the jurisdiction of the county and it would be their responsibility. And so again, it is whoever is the issuing entity, whoever the entity, the town, the village, the municipality that authorized or requested the spraying, they would be the ones ultimately responsible for the cleanup. And again, it would be only if it was close enough to the equipment that it would require the cleaning, and of course that would have to be set up by the state departments.
On the bill, Madam President.
Senator Murray on the bill.
Thank you, Senator Serrano. Actually, you answered my questions and convinced me now, so I literally did. I was trying to get clarification and understand, and I think I do now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Seeing and hearing none, debate is closed. Senator Gianaris.
Madam President, we've agreed to restore this bill to the non-controversial calendar.
The bill has been restored to the non-controversial calendar. Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 180th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Sukkot, and Zellner.
Announce results.
Ayes. In relation to calendar 563, voted in the negative. Senator Ort, ayes 60, nays 1.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until tomorrow, Wednesday, March 25th, Greek Independence Day, at 3 p.m.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Wednesday, March 25th, Greek Independence Day at 3 p.m.